Let's speak to Ibrahim Fraihat, who is Associate Professor in Conflict Resolution at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. He joins us now. What's your initial reaction to this peace initiative being proposed by Saudi Arabia?
Well, thank you. I think it's expected because we have seen several signs in the past 2 months, and actually since the arrival of Biden administration to the White House in Washington. We have seen a strong political will on the American side is to try to put an end to this war. And the United States has been an ally and partner with Saudi Arabia in this war from the very beginning, providing different kinds of support, intelligence and military and all type of things. So this serious political will of the U.S., I think it's also resonating to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And the Saudi Arabia government is now responding and trying to come up with a peace initiative that's trying to show a goodwill on the Saudi side in order to bring this to an end. Whether this will succeed or not, that's a whole different thing.
Well, that's the question. The ball, as the foreign minister was saying there, is very much in the Houthis' court. What do you expect they are likely to do next?
Well, let's first recognize, I think that the Houthis also are expecting such kind of a serious attempt to bring an end to this war, because in the past month exactly, actually, we have seen serious escalations on the Houthi side and on Saudi Arabia's side. We have seen the Houthis targeting and accelerating their attacks on the province of Marib in order to gain ground there in that area. We have seen also Saudi Arabia increasing its attacks on Yemen in the past month as well. So it tells us that it seems that both parties are aware that they might be coming to an end soon, and they're trying to have the upper hand on the ground in order to improve their negotiation position. So this is a good sign that both parties seem to be prepared in order to engage in serious negotiations. Again, whether this is going to succeed or not, I think it takes more than just the political will and also the peace initiatives, because in particular, I think this issue, this war, is linked to the larger regional rivalry between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Iran is involved, and Iran also has its demands as a result of this. And I can't see that the war in Yemen, whether to stop or to continue, can be separated from the larger issue also between the United States and Iran on the nuclear negotiations. So I think that's actually makes it more difficult and makes it more complicated for an easy agreement or an end to this war, because I think Iran will want to expect that they want to see removal of or lifting of the sanctions on Iran. The United States wants to see Iran complying with the terms of the nuclear agreement that was signed in 2015. So it's not just about the Houthis and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. There are a lot on the table, and this makes it complicated. But again, as I think a peace initiative and showing a goodwill and a confidence-building measures be taken at this side, I think it's an important step that should be encouraged and should all parties, take or to try to invest in it.
The peace initiative also includes the reopening of Sanaa airport, allowing things like food and fuel to re-enter the country. Paint us a picture of the situation on the ground in Yemen, what the people have been facing, because the UN only a few days ago talked about how the country is facing real famine.
Yeah, I mean, this is according to all international humanitarian organizations, has been, and according to the UN reports as well, this has been the worst, absolutely the worst man-made humanitarian disaster, the war in Yemen, that has been created in the past years. Over 60–70% of the Yemeni people need help. The humanitarian situation is so catastrophic everywhere. In addition, of course, to the worsening health situation of the COVID-19 health crisis, we have seen serious also interventions in the past in order to try to alleviate the humanitarian cost and to try to reduce the suffering of the Yemeni people. I recall in particular the agreement that was reached between the Houthis and the Yemeni government in Hodeidah a couple of years ago in Sweden with the UN intervention in order to neutralize the Hodeidah port. That was the agreement was about it, in order to allow for the humanitarian assistance to be delivered to Yemen. But our understanding of civil wars, not just in Yemen, all over the world, humanitarian disasters cannot be entirely separated from civil wars. And whenever even you start to deliver humanitarian assistance, there have been many cases of civil wars around the world that this humanitarian assistance has been used by all parties in order to exacerbate and to fuel the conflict among all the warring parties. So it cannot be separated, no matter how much we try and how hard we try in order to separate it. It will always overlap with the civil war. So the real solution to this is to stop the war. I appreciate that initiatives like to open the Sanaa airport is important and it might help, but we have, honestly, with our past experience with the Hodeidah port, the result was not encouraging because, again, the underlying causes of and conditions of this war, the civil war, remained active. And for that reason, they could not be separated. So in other words, while an attempt to secure the Sanaa port and open it for humanitarian assistance is a good step and should be encouraged, I highly doubt that it can sufficiently address the humanitarian catastrophe in Yemen, while the real cause is the war. That should be stopped. And I think with this peace initiative, it should be taken seriously and a way in order to build on it, and should be taken with goodwill on all parts, and in order to show serious efforts from all parties to try to save Yemen, to end the humanitarian crisis, and to end the war that has caused enough damage for a poor country like Yemen.
OK, many thanks for your thought. Ibrahim Fraihat, Associate Professor in Conflict Resolution at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies, talking to us there about this breaking news.